Hello students, we'll be doing revision for chapter number 1 and we'll start with the basics of the first chapter, first exercise. So here you can see we'll start with natural numbers and whole number. What is a natural number? What is a whole number? You have already known natural numbers and I think whole numbers also. So natural numbers are numbers which start from 1, 2, 3 and goes on till infinity, means countless number. If we add, means if we add 0 to it or 0 ahead of it, then it becomes a whole number. The whole number starts from 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4 till infinity. So here you can see it is clearly mentioned 0 is a whole number. 0 is not a natural number, but all natural numbers are whole number. So the difference is only about 0. When you start from 0, then they are called whole number from 0 to further on, and if we start from 1 till infinity, it is a natural number. That is the basic difference. Now comes your number system, Indian and international number system, which you have already studied. So let's get you a brief about them. In Indian number system, you have ones, tens, hundred, thousand, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh, crore, 10 crore, arab, 10 arab. And in international, ones, tens, hundred, thousand, it is similar to the Indian. And for the thousands, 10,000s, 100,000, the change comes here. Then million, 10 million, 100 million, billion, 10 billion, 100 billion. Now what about the commas? How will write them? You can write it is in both the number system. For the first 3 digit, we'll mark a comma after the 3 digits. For example, here and here we'll mark comma after 100. But in Indian, you'll start marking the comma then after every 2 digits, means 100, 1000, 10,000. After 100, 1000 and 10,000 comma, lakh, 10 lakh comma, crore, 10 crore comma. But here 1000, 10,000, 100,000, then comma, million, 10 million, 100 million, then comma after every 3 digit. Here we'll look at an example. You can see in example number 4 and example number 5. Here it is in Indian number system. We have made a box to make you explain ones place, thousand place, lakh place, crore place. Here ones place, thousand place, million, billion. Here the commas are every 3 digits and here after 2. Initially 3, then after 2. Now let's come to exercise 1.1. Here you can see the numbers. We have to put in commas according to Indian number system and then we have to name them. Like here, I'll give you an example. It was already given for an Indian number system. 39 crore 1 lakh 74,028. So we wrote it like this in digits, and for that digit, if it is given, then we'll write it in this form, word form, sentence form. Same is here. You can do the same thing in the first question. Then second question is very simple. In the third, you have to give it in both international and Indian number system. I'll explain you with the help of this example. First one, in Indian, first 3, then 2, then 2. So it is ones, tens, 100, 1000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh, crore. 2 crore, 35 lakh, 20,000, 231. Here after 3. So ones, tens, 100, 1000, 10,000, 100,000, million, 10 million. So it is 23,520,231. This is how you'll solve the questions, and the rest of the questions are also similar to this. Here you have number names given, just match it. Here write the following numeration in numerical form. आपको इसे numerical form में करना है. So this sums up your exercise 1. Students, now comes the next exercise 1.2. So first we'll see what is place value and expanded form. Place value, face value. Place value is the value of the place of the position, means ones, tens, 100, 1000 जो आपने place पढ़ी है, whatever you have studied earlier, that is the place value. And face value is the value of the digit itself. For example, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can clearly see here in the chart. For example, there is a number. Let's take example of 2. 2 is at ones, tens, 100 place. So the face value of 2 is 2 itself, and the place value is 2 into 100, 200. Place value of the digit is equal to the digit or face value into value of place. That is how you expand the numbers. Now let's see what you have in the exercise. Write the face value and place value of each odd digit in the following number. So let's take first example. See this question. We have this number. We'll take the odd digits. Odd digits here are 1, then 5, then 3, then 1. We'll see what is their places. 1 is at tens place, 5 is at 10,000 place, so it becomes 50,000. 3 is at lakh place, so it becomes 3 lakh, and 1 is at crore place, so it becomes 1 crore. That is how you'll solve these questions. Now come to question number 5. Here you can clearly see in question number 5 what you have. What is the difference between the face value and place value of 9? So in this we'll see face value, as I told you, is 9 itself. Place value, it is at ones, tens, 100, 1000, lakh place. 9 lakh minus 9 is equal to 8,99,991. For your benefit, you can do one thing. Face value is like your name. Your name is constant, it will never change, but your classes changes, so it becomes your place value, and that is how you can remember it. For questions like these, you can easily do expanded form. Write the following numbers in expanded form. You can expand using your place value and face value multiplication. Like here it is given in expanded form, and from here you can add it and you can make it into standard form. This covers your exercise 1.2. Now comes exercise 1.3. Here we have comparing and ordering. First we'll study what is predecessor and what is successor. For example, you have a number like 10, so the predecessor will be number minus 1, means pehle. For 10 it will be 9, and successor means success, means we move forward, means baad mein. Number plus 1, that is 11. So that is predecessor and successor for you. The next thing here comes is ascending and descending. For ascending, simply small to large, or you can remember it as climbing a mountain, ascend, and descend from top of the mountain to coming down, large to small. That is how you will arrange the numbers if it is given or asked to you in ascending or descending order. Now let's come to the exercise. It is a very simple exercise. Write the predecessor and successor. Plus 1, minus 1, greater than, equal to, less than. You can easily see which number is bigger, and then ascending and descending order. Now comes forming number. How you will form a number if digits are given to you? Without repetition of given digit, with repetition. There are two types of things that you will consider here. Without repetition, we'll take an example, very simple example. It is given in your book. For example, number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. They may be given in any order, but you'll write it like this. For smallest number, how will you write? You're ascending or descending? Here you are ascending, small to big, and here you are descending, big to small, so it becomes a greater number. 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3. This is an example of without repetition. Now here comes an example of with repetition. For example, you are given digits like this. So for example, you are given digits 1, 3, 7, 8, but they ask you for a 5-digit number and you only have 4 digits like 1, 3, 7, 8. What you will do? You will do 1, 3, 7, 8, write it like this, and then you will repeat the smallest digit. Same is case here. If it is a 6-digit number, you will repeat 1 again, so 1 comes thrice. And in case of greatest digit, see here, 5-digit, you have 8, 7, 3, 1. So you get the greatest 4-digit number. But if they ask you for 5, you add 5. If they ask you for 6, you add 6. That is how you will do it in the case of repetition. But there is a special case I'll tell you now. For example, you are given digits 0 to 47. Create the greatest number and the smallest division from the digit. In case of greatest, it is very easy. You will use descending order. First the largest number 7, then 4, then 2, then 0. But in case of smallest, if you do like this 2 0 2 4 7, then it is wrong, because it becomes a 3-digit number, not a 4-digit number. Then what you will do, you will swap this from the second, it becomes first, and 0 comes in the second place. So 2047, keep this concept in mind always. Now let's look at question number 3. We require a 3-digit number using 468 without repetition. So first we'll write it like this: 4, 6 and 8, and then we'll swap 6 and 8. So now we get 2-digit. Now we'll take 6 first, write 4 8. Now we'll swap 4 and 8, we got 6 8 4. Similarly 8 6 4 and 8 4 6. Now we'll see question number 4. Here there have given an example: 0 to 7, 3-digit number, possible digit, repetition not allowed. So what, as I already told you, you cannot take 0 at the front. So 207 270, 702 720, and we have to provide the sum also in this case. So once you add, it becomes 1899. Now see question number 6. In question number 6, they are saying that you have 1 3 4 and 7 7143. Repetition is allowed. You have to create a 7-digit number. So what you will do, first you will write it in a similar form: 1 3 4 7 7 4, greatest, smallest. Now what we will do, this is a 4-digit number: 5 6 7. So this becomes your smallest and this becomes your greatest: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. And then what they are saying, find the difference. So you will subtract greatest from the smallest. Now we'll subtract, write it down, and this is what we'll get. That sums up your exercise 1.4. Now we come to exercise 1.5. Before that, you have studied in the link that we have given about operations on whole number. This is a long topic and we'll be just covering the gist of it as you have already studied it. Properties of addition: closure, commutative, associative. Closure means adding two whole number, you get whole number. In commutative, in any order you can add two whole number and you'll get the result as same, means m plus n is equal to n plus m. Similarly, in case of associative, it is for three whole numbers. So additive identity for them is 0. When you add 0 to any whole number, you get the whole number itself. In case of subtraction, this property does not hold true, neither commutative nor associative. And property of 0, if you subtract 0 from any whole number, then you will get a whole number, but not when you subtract any whole number from 0. In case of multiplication, you will get, like in case of addition, yes, commutative you will get a whole number, associative you will get a whole number. Multiplicative identity we have is 1. When you multiply any whole number by 1, you get the number itself. Distributive property is a bit important. When you multiply a whole number with the product with the addition of two whole numbers, you can write it in this form, means the whole number m is multiplied by the first whole number and then plus sign, and then it is multiplied by the second whole number. Similarly, the case in minus sign also, n minus p, first whole number multiplied by the first whole number, then minus sign, whole number multiplied by the second whole number. This is your distributive property. In case of division, again, the properties do not hold true for commutative or associative, so you can leave it for now. Then comes the exercise. Before that, you can just see we have some special properties. You can read it from the book itself. Now comes the exercise. Exercise is 5.1.5. First you see these are simple blanks regarding the properties that you have studied. What number should be added to 2497 to get 2497? We'll just add 0. Here what should be subtracted from 1489? Again 0. What should be multiplied to 1260 to get 0? So again 0. You can see in case of 1 you'll get the number itself. Then comes G part. You can easily see there are two numbers, third one is missing. Here the two numbers are missing and third one is given, and there is an equal to sign, means there are three numbers, so it is associative property. So the missing numbers are 78 and 25, here 95. Now comes to the question where you have to verify the properties. You can easily do that. Just add these two numbers, first this then this, and in the second case take 9563, add it to this, and you will get the same results. Similarly, in case of associative, you can use this property. Now comes question number 3, solve using distributive property. Here is an example, I have done it for you. You can clearly see it. See, take an example from here. 1818 multiplied by 99. Distributive property we will apply. So we can write 99 as 100 minus 1 and 18 outside the bracket. 18 multiplied by 100, 1800. 18 multiplied by 1, 18. You will get 1782. This is very simple. Then F part, 17 into 25 minus 7 into 25. Now you are already get it in expanded form. So what you will do, you see 25 is common between them, 25 comes out, and 17 minus 7, so you get 10 and 25. So that is how you will use distributive property. In case of question number 4, they are asking difference between the greatest 9-digit number and the smallest 11-digit number. As you have previously studied in the last exercise, smallest 11-digit number, we need an 11-digit number, and that is smallest. So first we will write 1 and then 0, 10 times 0. Greatest 9-digit number, we'll write 9 times, and then you can subtract and get the answer. Now this sums up your exercise 1.5.
Good morning, students. Today we have to revise exercise 1.6 based on the topic estimation of numbers. To estimate or round off any number, we have to follow certain rules. Let's see what we have to follow. Exercise 1.6. Let's consider an example. If we are taking a number, suppose this is the number. Now this given number, we have to round off this to nearest 1000. What I am saying, nearest 1000. So for this nearest 1000, we have to observe its 100 place digit. It's what is the 100 place digit here? That is 8 here. 100 place digit, ones, tens, 100. This is 8. Just write 8 here and compare whether it is greater than 5 or smaller than 5. So I hope you all know that it is greater than 5. Now, when it is greater than 5, we have to round off the given number to the upside only. Means we have to write the answer like this: 7, 8, 6, 00, 0. Fine, this is the answer. Means what we have to do, we have to make these digits 0 and this 1000 digit, because we have to round off to nearest 1000. So we have to increase this 1000 digit by 1 when we have to round it off to the upside. Now we have to consider one more example here. Suppose I am taking 1, 5, 6, 2, 4, 1. Suppose this number I am taking, and again I am rounding off this number to nearest 1000. So for nearest 1000, again which digit you will observe? That is ones, tens, 100. You will observe 100 digit, and it is 2 here. This time this 2 is greater than 5 or less than 5. This 2 is less than 5. So you have to round off the given number to the downside only. Means what will you write? You will write 1, 5, 6, 000. What is the difference in this? This time we are not changing this 1000 place digit here. Okay, in downside we are not going to change this digit here. In upside we have to change this digit by 1, increase by 1, and here we have to copy this same one and rest of the digits becomes 0. Okay students, now let's come to the question. Consider exercise 1.6, question number 6. It is here, Rahul traveled 1973 kilometer to go from place A to B, and then he went to place C after traveling 1687 kilometer. Estimate the distance between A to C to the nearest thousand. So let's do the solution of it. First of all, you will write distance covered by Rahul from place A to B, that is 1973 kilometer. After that you will write distance covered by Rahul from place B to C, that is 1687 kilometer. Now we have to find total distance covered by him. Total distance covered by him. For that you need to add both these two distances. Three plus 7, 10. Here carry over 1 here. 1 plus 7, 8. 8 plus 8, 16. Again 1 is carry. 1 plus 9, 10. 10 plus 6, 16. Again 1 carry. And here it is 3. Means total distance covered by Rahul is 3660 kilometer. Now according to question, we have to estimate this distance to nearest thousand. For that we have to observe its 100 place digit. Means you have to pick this 6 which is greater than 5. Okay, 6 is greater than 5. Now you have to write your answer, that estimated distance to nearest thousand is 4000 kilometer. Thank you and be safe.
Now we'll cover your exercise 1.7. It is very important, BODMAS rule. In the previous class you have studied the mass rule. For example, you have a numerical expression where you have signs like operations like plus, minus, multiply, divide, and you have brackets also. How will you solve it? It is very simple to understand that you have to follow a standard procedure. Bracket of division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. This is the order you will follow. You will first solve the bracket. In brackets you will first solve the line bracket, then the small one, then the curly one, and then the square one. Of means multiplication, you have to multiply, and then first you will use division, then multiplication, then addition, then subtraction. I've solved a question for you, question number 5, from your exercise itself. See, you have 300 divide bracket 375, this is a square bracket, minus curly bracket 440 minus small bracket 150 minus 60. Now 60 minus 50. First we'll solve the bar, we'll get 10. Then we'll solve small bracket, we'll get 140. Then we'll solve curly bracket, we get 300. 440 minus 140. Then square bracket we get 75. Now we only have division, so no more damas. Here you will get the answer straight 4. Now move to the next part, question number 7. In question number 7, you have 150 divided by 14 plus 1 small bracket minus 90 into 3 plus 7 into 4 of. So we'll solve the bracket first. Now here we have small bracket 14 plus 1 15, 4 of 5 of means I already told you multiply 20. So we can solve them simultaneously. Now when we open the bracket, we'll use the mass rule. So first we'll divide. When we divide 150 divided by 15, we'll get 10. Then we'll copy the 90 into 3 plus 7 to 20. Then multiplication, we can do it simultaneously again. 270 plus 140. Now this thing you will study in chapter number 2, integers, plus and minus. For here you just recall, this is plus, this digit is of minus, this is plus. So we'll add both the positive digits, 10 plus 140. This is the rule. We'll add positive digits and it becomes 150. Now we have 150 minus 270. 270 is greater than 150. So we'll subtract 150 from 270 and we will write minus because 270 is greater than 150 and it is of minus. So this sums up your exercise 1.7.
Good morning, students. Today we are going to revise exercise 1.8 based on Roman numerals. Exercise 1.8. To represent any number in Roman numeral, we have to use 7 symbols. There are total 7 symbols in Roman numerals to represent any number. These symbols are I, V, X, L, C, D, M. Their Indian values are 1, 5, 10, 50, 100, 500, 1000. Okay. Out of these 7 symbols, only I, X, C, and M. These can be repeated but maximum 3 times. These values can be repeated but not more than 3 times. And V, L, and D, these 3 symbols can never be repeated. Clear one? Now, if you are writing any symbol 3 times, that means you have to add their values. So its value is 30. Okay. If you are repeating 2 times, again you have to add their values and your answer is 200 here. Okay. If you are writing any small value symbol to the right side of greater value symbol, means if you are writing dx, suppose you are writing dx, value of d is 500, value of x is 10, because smaller value symbol is right side to greater value symbol, you have to add here. That means you have to write 510. Okay. But what happen if you are writing a smaller value symbol to the left of greater value symbol? Means suppose I am writing XL. Here value of X is 10 and value of L is 50. Means your smaller value symbol is followed by greater value symbol. So here you need to subtract them and value is 40. Okay. For subtraction, there are some fixed rules that I can be subtracted only from V and X. Clear one? I can be subtracted only from V and X. Similarly, your X can be subtracted from only L and C. Fine. In the same way, your C can be subtracted only from D and M. Clear one? I hope till here it is clear to all. Now the next rule is that if you are putting bar over any Roman numeral, suppose I am writing V and I am using bar over it. This bar represents multiplication with 1000. First of all, write the value of V, that means 5. And this bar represents multiply by 1000. So your value of V bar is 5000. I hope rules are clear to all. Now let's come to the exercise 1.8, question number 1. In question number 1, you have to write the value of the given Roman numeral. Let's do the C part of it. It is C D X L V I. Fine. First of all, write the value of each symbol. Value of C is 100. Value of D is 500. X value is 10. L represents 50. V represents 5. I represents 1. Fine. Now again problem is there. Means not a problem. A smaller value symbol is followed by greater value symbol. So you have to take these two. You have to take these two and value of CD becomes 400. Why? Because 500 minus 100, that is 400. Clear one? In the same way, this X is in middle between D and L. So confusion is there. We have to add it or we have to subtract it. Because it is followed by a greater value symbol, so you have to subtract these values. Okay? That means XL represents 40. Clear? Again, now V value is 5 and it is followed by a smaller value symbol, that is 1. So we have to add these two. That means VI represents 6. So for complete value, you have to add these values. Your answer is 446. Means CDXLVI. Its value is 446. Clear? Now come to question number 2. Here you have to convert the given number into Roman numeral. Again, come to the C part. This is 1000520. Okay. Now, first of all, do the expanded value of it. Write this in expanded form. 1000000 plus 500 plus 20. Clear? Write this 10 lakh. This number is 10 lakh. So write this 10 lakh as a multiple of 1000. Means you can write this as 1000 multiply 1000 and write rest of the digits as it is. Okay. Now what is the symbol for 1000? What is the symbol for 1000? It is M. And for multiply with 1000, we need to put a bar over it. Clear? Now for 500, we are having D. And for 20, we are having 2 times X. So M bar D double X. This is the answer to represent 1000520. This is your answer. Okay. Thank you and be safe.